The Chat-98, Songbird, and Warpig have the monumental burden of being the first guns released alongside some sweeping changes to the gun mechanics inside of Kevin's update. Gun building will never be the same, it's gonna be a little bit less wacky and a little bit more serious around here. But that doesn't mean I'm not about to give you 4 awesome gun builds for the newest guns. You heard that right, 4, not 3, 4. Because I wanted to tinker around and see if I could figure out a new infinite ammo combo with the Songbird, so we'll start with that and get it out of the way. In the olden days, we only needed mosquito and Tetris oil to have infinite ammo on our guns. Now you're going to need at least 3 oils to make that happen. Coincidentally, 2 of the best oils to do that are mosquito and Tetris, so I don't know if this actually changed up the oils that we're using on a regular basis. However, infinite ammo builds are going to lack a bit of flavor going forward because we don't have an extra enchantment slot to use for a scroll or another oil, so they're not as exciting, but still doable. To get this little birdie singing, I did mosquito oil, giving us minus 40% ammo consume chance, minus 15% damage, and minus 30% bullet speed. I already went over my thoughts about the mosquito and Tetris changes in the Everything About Kevin's update video, so if you haven't seen that, go see that if you want to see how I feel about all this. Or we could just move on to Tetris oil, which now does minus 20% ammo consume chance and minus 40% reload speed. This is obviously still a great oil for infinite ammo guns because of that minus 40% reload speed. I mean, you're not reloading, so it's just obvious. For the third member of the Amigos, I chose helium oil, which has minus 40% ammo consume chance at the cost of 40% less bullet speed. Getting 80% from 2 oils in helium and mosquito makes it kind of obvious that these are a great combo when it comes to making infinite ammo guns. Personally, I never chose to make every gun infinite ammo. In fact, I went out of my way to make sure to get you guys builds for guns that weren't infinite ammo so that there was more variety in the videos I was making. With how limiting this is now, I'm probably not going to be making a lot of infinite ammo builds at all. I'm sure there'll be some, but not as much. The slower bullet speed is noticeable, so I threw on instant oil, which is going to disable aiming and give us 150% extra bullet speed. When I'm using the Songbird, I like to be very mobile. I like to slap on the ass wheel and the knee pads and slide up into enemies and shoot them as fast as I can. I don't like to stick around with this gun. It makes me feel fast. And if I'm in their faces, I don't need to aim. The final oil will tell you exactly what my idea was with this build. It was kind of exploiting the gimmick of having a faster fire rate while the clip is full. That's why I wanted infinite ammo. And that's rookie oil, which is going to give us plus 50% RPM at the cost of minus 75% reload speed. This gun is alright. I just wanted to give an example of what an infinite ammo gun might look like going forward. I don't know exactly how often I would pull this out. I think a lot of infinite ammo builds are going to rely on your use of certain enchantments like least resistance or charm, something like that. Something so powerful that it won't matter exactly what's going on with the gun as long as that enchantment is hitting. I also threw on an A12C muzzle brake, which gives us minus 35% recoil, and all of these guns will have laser sights and insurance. Laser sights giving us extra accuracy when moving, and insurance making it so that we can get our guns back if we die. Yeah, I don't love the way infinite ammo feels after this update, so that's why I wanted to make 4 guns, because I don't consider that gun a part of this group per se. It's just, I don't know, my first trial. If any of you have some infinite ammo builds that have been working really nice for you, please put them in the comments so I can try them out. We can crack this thing together or just kiss infinite ammo goodbye for the most part. The 3 other guns I have for you are still very strong and going to be more than serviceable enough for you in your playthroughs or just goofing around shooting people. Let's get the other Songbird out of the way. As always with Songbirds, I wanted a very mobile build. I wanted something strong that's going to kill enemies incredibly quick. That's why I threw a 12-gauge chisel on this thing. The 12-gauge chisel just made sense for this kind of build. It's the run and gun dumb fun build. It's less about safety and more about timing with this build, as you should be flying past enemies, just popping shots and hoping they connect. I started it off with a multi-chamber oil, which gives plus 100% ammo consume chance, plus 100% projectile amount, and plus 100% spread. Yippee for multiple projectile nerves, yeah. Hopefully you can close the gap quick enough to where those spread issues won't be too much of a concern. You'll certainly be doing a lot of damage with each pellet because we're putting stuff like pot shot oil on, which disables aiming but gives plus 35 flat rate damage. Since we just did away with aiming, let's double down and hit the stable hip oil, giving us minus 62% recoil. Shotgun builds, especially when they're automatic, have a whole lot of recoil, so you're gonna want to account for that. Gee, I think we might be able to do a little bit more damage here. let's throw on Late Boom Oil, which gives us plus 30 flat rate damage at the cost of minus 30% bullet speed. That negative isn't big enough to really make an impact, so this is still a really great oil for the time being. Let's throw on Long Shot Oil because hey, who doesn't love tripling down? Long Shot's gonna help to make sure we're consistently connecting some bullets to enemies while we're zooming on past them. I also threw on the Bresnik BMD Tactical, which gives us minus 15% spread and minus 20% recoil, which is pretty much my go-to when it comes to barrel attachments now. It's a great default option. It should work with most guns. Not to get too French with you, but the more I've used the Chat-Pardeur 98, the less I fucking enjoyed it. I think a lot of that has to do with being overshadowed by the Warpig being an all-around excellent gun. I don't love the gimmick of having to fire off every shot before I can reload. I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be as great as, say, the Rector, the Duhard, or even, like I said, the Warpig. It has the worst magazine out of all of them, the worst RPM, obviously the worst reload would go to the Neuraxis, tied for the worst recoil. It's also really heavy, so it slows you down. As a mobile player, I'm not really looking for that. It might not be my kind of gun, but I did come up with an interesting build for it. A build that kind of makes me feel like I'm in World War II firing off some sort of anti-tank rifle, but also moving, because I tried stationary oil, it was a shit show. I don't think I'll ever be able to get that oil to work. I need to move in this game. Lots of things are hurting me all the time. But if we're shooting some sort of crazy cannon turret thing, we need 50 BMG as our chisel of choice. That's gonna allow our bullets to do some crazy damage. I also threw on the barrel extension 6-inch, giving us minus 50% spread. That's huge. Plus 40% bullet speed, whatever. And then also minus 20% move speed. We're already going slow as molasses. I might as well embrace this life. We obviously need Scroll of Explosions if we're gonna be blowing shit up.
It's so beautiful! Hell Ocean, I'll see you in hell!
What this scroll does is exactly in the name. It's going to make your bullets explode when you shoot them at stuff. How exciting! Glass Cannon is now one of the best oils in the game because it gives you plus 50% damage at only minus 25% maximum durability. I can already see myself using this oil a lot on most guns, honestly. This thing's going right up to the peak of the mountain with slow punch now because minus 25% max durability isn't that impactful if you're just using it for one level or you bring in repair items. It's not going to impact you that much. I'm shocked Perfect Random was passing out nerfs and didn't touch this oil. This has always been shockingly good for most guns. Plus 50% damage, minus 50% bullet speed. Bullet speed isn't as scary as it seems. Obviously, if you put too much, your guns basically become useless, but for the most part, you can get away with a couple of bullet speed oils, if not just slow punch, with how strong its effects are. And since our damage numbers are climbing, we don't really want to mess around with any percentage oils when it comes to our multiple projectile oils. That's why I went with Gemini oil, giving us a minus 30 flat rate damage plus 100% projectile amount and some spread negatives. Gemini remains as the best option for multiple projectiles when it comes to high damage valued guns. Not having to worry about a percentage there makes a world of a difference. Sherlock oil was something I wasn't sure I was gonna love, and if you don't want to fuck with it, you don't have to. As always, you don't have to take these builds as gospel. You can take them as inspiration. It's however you want to view what I'm giving you here. I'm just giving you what I've been figuring out. Obviously, minus 50% RPM is going to make the build feel a lot different, especially when it starts with a pretty low RPM. But that plus 5 bullet bounces is going to make this gun do a lot more chaos with the explosions it's causing. And I still really like that kind of old school war feel it gives me, like I'm playing Medal of Honor or Battlefield or something. I also threw a sniper scope on there because why the hell not? It still does plus 30% crit chance down sight, and for the foreseeable future, it is your best option for scopes when it comes to getting that crit chance. In my opinion, the Warpig is the standout of this group. It's got a fast reload, a good RPM, the recoil isn't that bad, it's got the weight of a Duhar, it's got the lowest base spread out of all the LMGs, and the magazine size is totally serviceable, so we're not looking at another Neuraxis situation or even a Chat-Pardeur situation where I have to sit there and wait for all my shots to fire out. And the biggest things is there's no gimmicks attached, not like the Songbird or the Chat-Pardeur. It's just a standard standard gun that's really good at killing stuff, which means it's really good at building with. Please don't be mad, but I put 12 gauge chisel on 2 guns in one video. I'm so sorry. But that's only because I wanted to demonstrate how strong one of the best scrolls in the game is. That's right, least resistance, which might look a little scary having plus 200% durability loss and minus 90% bullet speed, but the homing bullets is what makes it so damn good. I consider it a big FU to all the spread issues and inconsistencies with accuracy I've noticed since the Kevin update. Having the bullets swarm to enemies means I don't have to worry about all that. I threw the Bresnik BMD Tactical on here because, like I said, it's my new default option when it comes to barrels. It's a no thinker for me. I like everything it's doing. With this thing, I want some big old bullet swarms, so I'm gonna throw suppressive oil on. A very wonky, wacky oil giving us plus 300% projectile amount at the cost of 40% damage, plus 2.1 spread, and minus 200% accuracy when moving. Like I said, all the accuracy and spread issues go right out the window. They're not your problem anymore when you're using least resistance, so that's why this oil is a must-have with least resistance. Especially with that 12 gauge chisel giving us even more spread. Acidic oil might take away our money drops, but it gives us plus 30 damage flat rate, which is obviously great for a shotgun having a low damage per pellet. But that's not enough to satiate me. In fact, I'm gonna want another damage oil, and I'm gonna want my potshot oil right now. Take away my aiming all you want, plus 35 flat rate damage is incredible, and also I don't need to aim anymore, my bullets are homing. Feature gun also removes ADS, so let's throw that on there as well and get a nice plus 30% max durability to help with that plus 200% durability loss. So those were the 4 builds I was able to scheme up after the Kevin update. I'm still learning all the oils, as I imagine a lot of people are. More than 150 have changed, so it's like we're learning a whole new way of living in Sulfur. This will be a great time for you to share some of your builds in the comment section or the Discord. There is a build channel in the Discord if you'd rather do it there and not comment it here. It's your choice, pal. I don't care how you choose to live your life. The only thing I care about right now is thanking the members. I still care about all of you though, don't worry. It's just these guys go out of their way to give some extra support to my family and I every month. I mean, they don't have to do that, guys, but they're doing it anyways, guys. What's that about, guys? I guess it's all that kindness in their hearts swelling up. They live permanently like the Grinch, because his heart, it grew like 4 sizes larger. If that were to happen to them, it would just explode their chest like a chest burster in Alien, man. They'd be screwed. What I'm trying to say is thank you guys for the extra support. You're all amazing. I gotta be honest, I was a little hesitant to do this build video. Looking at all the changes, I was like, I don't know if I could do this quite yet. I don't know if I'm ready for this challenge. But you know what? It was still fun making the guns. It's always going to be an interesting system that we have in place in Sulfur. If it's not as wacky, that's fine. If we're taking this a little bit more serious and difficulty-wise, it's alright with me. I still have fun with the systems that are in place. I wish more games had gun building mechanics like this. It's something I want to see in every game I play. It's so cool.